All right, let's talk about something we've all faced at some point. You've got this amazing idea, a real game changer, but how do you get the company to actually fund it? That's what we're breaking down today, how to build a business case that's so solid it can turn your vision into a real approved project. So let's just dive right in.
You've been there, right? You see a better way to do something, a new tool, a smarter process. But the moment you bring it up, the first question is always, okay, but what's it going to cost? It's like the classic roadblock for any new initiative.
And that really is the heart of the matter. A great idea on its own isn't enough. In the business world, you have to prove its worth. You've got to show, clearly and convincingly, that what you're proposing isn't just another expense. It's a smart investment for the future.
This quote really just lays it all out, doesn't it? This is the fundamental rule of the game. It boils down to a super simple equation. Do the benefits outweigh the costs? If the answer is yes, you've got a shot. And this is your secret weapon, the business case. It's the formal, structured argument that does all the heavy lifting for you. Think of it as the bridge that connects your brilliant idea to the executive sign-off you're looking for. So how on earth do you build one?
Well, the good news is you don't have to guess. There's a proven process for this. We're going to walk through a really clear 6-step roadmap that takes you all the way from that initial spark of an idea to your final polished presentation. And here is it. This is the roadmap we're going to follow. This process is our guide for the whole journey, starting with initiation and taking us all the way to the final pitch. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Before you start crunching numbers or analyzing data, you have to lay the groundwork. This is where you get crystal clear on what you're trying to do and why. So we're starting right at the top with step 1, initiate the business case. Getting this part right is absolutely critical because it's what stops the whole thing from spiraling out of control later. So what does initiating actually mean in practice? Well, it's really 3 key things. First, get a team together from different departments. You need those diverse viewpoints. Second, set really clear objectives. What does success actually look like? And third, and this one is so important, you have to define the scope. Nailing down the scope is how you avoid a runaway project. You gotta draw some lines in the sand. Ask yourselves, what exactly are we looking at here? Is this just for our team or the whole company? How big of a lift is this really? Answering these questions right at the start will save you a world of headaches. Okay, once our mission is set, we can move into the analysis phase. The best way to think about this is like you're painting 2 pictures. One of the world as it is right now, and one of the world as it could be with your solution. This brings us to steps 2 and 3 on our map. And really, they're 2 sides of the same coin. First, you have to dig into the current way of doing things, and only then can you really start exploring better alternatives. Now, the key word here is quantify. You can't just say the current process is inefficient or slow. You have to put real numbers on it. How many hours are being wasted? How much money are we losing from errors? That hard data becomes your baseline, the starting point for your whole argument. This is the heart of your analysis, right here. On one side, you've got the as-is world, where you document all the current costs and frustrations. And on the other, you project the to-be world, showing all the awesome benefits and savings your idea will create. The difference between those two, that's your value proposition. All right, now we get to the part everyone with the checkbook is waiting for, the financials. This is where you show that your brilliant idea isn't just good, it's profitable. So this moves us to steps 4 and 5 on our roadmap. First, we figure out exactly what it's going to cost to get from our as-is world to that shiny to-be world. And then we pull everything together to assemble the final business case. So what kind of costs are we talking about here? Well, it's everything you need to make the switch. It could be new hardware, new software, maybe some custom development work, but don't forget the other stuff. Things like data integration and especially training for your team and redesigning how they work. You've got to account for all of it. Okay, you've got your costs figured out, you've projected all your benefits. Now it's time to put it all together and calculate those magic numbers that decision makers love to see. And here are the big 3. You've got return on investment, or ROI, which basically asks, for every dollar we put in, how much do we get back? Then there's payback time, which is just how fast do we make our money back? And finally, net present value, or NPV, which looks at the total value of the project over a longer period, like 5 years. Let's make this real. Say your number crunching shows an ROI of 150%. What does that mean? It means that for every single dollar you invest in this project, the company gets that dollar back plus an extra $1.50 on top. Now that is a powerful number to put in front of an executive.
So you've done all the hard work. You've defined the mission, you've done the analysis, you've crunched the numbers. You have a rock-solid case. There's just one last thing to do. You gotta present it. And that takes us to the finish line, my friends. Step 6, present the business case. This is your moment. This is when you educate the decision makers, answer their questions, and get that final thumbs up you've worked so hard for. And what should you include in that final pitch? Here is the perfect checklist for your executive summary. You give them a quick overview, you clearly state the scope, you describe the before and after, lay out the costs, and then you hit them with the bottom line. Your ROI, your payback period, it's your entire story told in a nutshell.
So, there you have it. The blueprint for taking a great idea and turning it into a funded, approved project. The only question left is, what amazing idea are you going to make a case for?